I wanted to maybe do one more thing that we could practice with this type of pattern. Again, it has to do with hand independence, and it has to do with what we call syncopation. Is we don't have to always play matching downbeats with the two hands, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I could decide what if I played my right hand pattern only when I hit the second note. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So the second note, we call that after the beat, since it's the note that comes right after the downbeat 1. And I'm going to play my 3-note hand grip only when I hit that second note. Very good exercise for rhythmic independence. I don't have to play three notes. I still gonna keep my 3-finger hand grip, but I could decide to play only one note out of those 3. Play only 2 notes. Remind you, I'm only playing on the second note of the left hand. 1, 2, 3. So now I'm gonna throw. When I play like this, it feels like it's a little bit like drumming. We're just moving the hand different places. I'm going to play only 2 notes of my hand grip. So you got the idea, practice different key, practice changing the left hand. It's so easy to get carried away and improvise because once we get the philosophy, the brain just kind of snaps. I don't know how to explain this, where it's actually easier to improvise than to do a fixed pattern. So fixed pattern was play only on the second note. And once we get the hang of it, it's just so much easier to play whenever we feel like it. Type of 2-finger improvisation is very powerful. As you can tell, you know, we don't need to use all the fingers all the time. Sometimes just using two-finger hand grip is very powerful. Let's switch to 3-note accompaniment. C, G, C, C, G, C, C, G, C. So now it's a 3-note accompaniment pattern. I'm gonna do my 2-note drumming. Again, I'm just playing notes from the pentatonic minor hand scale, hand grip. And then I can go back to 4 notes. So that's it. That was my little introduction on using the open chord, 16th note pedal tone improvisation. Sorry, I just realized realized I wanted to do, let's do one little review, one more review. All the vocabularies that we can use. We use, today I really mostly use the three-finger hand grip. But let's add the other things we talked about while I'm doing this pattern. So for the sake of this video, I'm gonna stick to C for a little bit, just to go over the vocabulary. Number one, I can just play a straight scale, C minor. Now, if I do a scale pattern, very important, I'm not just doing mindlessly up and down. I want to feel the pull of certain notes that are important in the scale. Typically, that would be, you know, the tonic C. Going to the other tonic at the octave. And this note, very important, the dominant G. And then the melodic pull between G and C. Doing little zigzag pattern. Let's do the same while varying the left hand. So next element of vocabulary we learned was the three-finger hand grip, which I covered quite a lot today, so I'm gonna move on. Next we have what we call triads. So I'm still having my 4-note pattern, and I'm going to do a triad pattern, also of 16th note. So again, this is why it's so useful to be familiar with the scale. Is out of this scale, then I know, you know, C minor, E diminished, E flat major, F minor. You don't have to think too much about it. Your finger should be able to go to various triads out of this minor scale. So obviously a typical pattern when we use the triad is if I accent that upper note. So let's say C minor, F minor in inversion. So C minor root position, F minor with the inversion C, F, A flat. So the upper note G, A flat makes a little melody, right? So it's a typical way of using the triad is to create kind of a 3-part textures we have. So this is really 4-part texture. We have a bass, then the other notes are for the inner harmony, the color. And if I play a triad with my right hand, I have an upper note, that's my melody. And then the inner note in the right hand, also for color and harmony. So another aspect why I like so much the pedal tone improvisation is we're not really thinking complex harmonies, but because I'm doing an ostinato C open chord, every time I play a chord, I'm combining those harmonies. So this is C. If I play F minor, where the F is known as the 11th, A flat is the flat 13. So we're doing really complex harmonies, but we don't have to think about it. I can stay on this for as long as I want. If I want to switch within the same key, if I go to B flat, do the same, then I get new harmonies. Because I changed the left hand, now I have different colors, different harmony. And then obviously the same way we brought out a melody with the upper note, we can bring out a melody with the lower note. So I think that covers pretty much the basics, the open chord pattern, and in the right hand, improvising, first doing systematic exercise, then mixing it up at random, and then just fooling around and having fun. We went through the scales, 2 types of scale, major and minor. We went through the 3-finger hand grip, major and minor, and we went through the triad. So I think that's plenty for practicing. So I could do this for hours. I think this is enough for today. Thank you so much for watching and have fun practicing.